behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Bash TV. Palm Bash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Bash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another great interview coming up in just a moment. But if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and bell buttons below you there. And anytime you do that, you'll be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And feel free to leave a comment on the comment section if you like. We'd love to hear from you there. And if you pay attention to the description part of this listing as well as the closing credits at the end of the show, we're going to have contact info for you. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Windsor, Junction, Nova Scotia, Canada today, we have Maurice Aucoin. Very awesome artist, I think you're going to agree. And we're going to get to that in a second, but here again is another quick word from the Caden Gordon Show, so don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
It is Caden from the Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix. Check out my show at thecadengordonshow.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us from Windsor Junction, Nova Scotia, Canada, we have Maurice Aucoin with us today. Thanks for joining us, Maurice.
Oh, thank you for asking me on board.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to have you here. Everybody has their own story when it comes to how they started in the music business. Tell us your story. Did you always want to be an artist since you were a little kid? Maybe it goes deeper than that. But anyway, tell everybody your story.
Well, I was a bit of a late bloomer. I always, well, I don't know. I guess I always, I had that urge. I know I was a little kid. It's funny you mention that because when I was a little kid, before I could even play an instrument or even could practically sing, I guess I could sing. I don't know. I was just a kid. I drew my own album cover, like a self-portrait.
Oh,
And I don't know. I think maybe it was inspired. My sister had a little record player, and she had Donny Osmond Superstar, the K-Tel record, and it had a picture of his face on the cover. And I thought, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I was just a kid. I'm about his age, I guess. So I took a pencil, and I'm a pretty good sketch artist, and I sketched a self-portrait. I thought that looks like an album cover, so I made it look like I made my own record. And this before even, of course, wasn't even a musician yet. And it was fast forward, I don't know, probably another 7 or 8 years when I was about, I don't know, 14, 13. I was at my uncle's in Newfoundland, and his dad had a guitar. Or no, uncle's my uncle. His dad had this guitar in the corner of the room, and I didn't have to play guitar, but I was fast, and I always loved guitar. My uncles played guitar. I used to sing at house parties, kind of thing by then. Anyways, he had this guitar, and he showed me how to play a G chord, and no one saw me for 2 days while we were up there on vacation, and I just reappeared out of one of the bedrooms and played a little concert in the living room. I learned my first song. I played Lucille by Kenny Rogers. You picked a fine time. And I practiced that for 3 days, those chords, and then and that was and I recorded on a little cassette recorder. And over the years, I thought, wouldn't it have been neat if I could have saved that cassette, because that song would have been my first recorded song in my career. And that's it. I just basically, I had the bug, had my first guitar, strummed on chords. I thought I was going to be a guitar player. I really wasn't very good. I was actually pretty crappy, actually. But somewhere along the way, I got invited to jam with the band, and they said, just keep the guitar in the case, just sing at the mic. And next thing you know, I found out I was a lead singer. And then years later, after I was well involved in my career as a lead singer, I started picking up the guitar and really starting to focus on writing. And next thing you know, I led back. So then now I'm a singer-songwriter, guitar player on stage, strummer, but still, that's my forte. And I guess that's basically how it happened.
okay. Well, you picked a good song there because I remember Lucille when I was younger, and that was really a great song. And did you say Kenny Rogers probably would be your influence, if not, or even if so?
Well, not so much influence, but it's typical. I'm telling you, though. I mean, I learned to riff the Smoke on the Water on an electric guitar that a buddy had down the street, and I just banging on wasn't playing a chord, it was going bump, bump, bump. But no, yeah, but I guess that was the song that got me going, only because he showed me the chord. And but I wouldn't say that Kenny Rogers is my influence. I guess technically he is, I guess. I just knew then that I wanted to be a musician. I was fascinated with guitar. I always wanted to have a guitar. I remember when I was a little kid, I had a guitar with broken strings, and I played it a lot. I had a Snoopy guitar or whatever, one of those guitars. I remember having a little plastic guitar when I was a little kid, and I banged away on that and thought I was going to be a rock star in my head. So as far as an influence or anything like that. I just think the guitar itself is what gave me the inspiration to play music. I think the actual instrument itself.
Well, what were some of your influences? I know you also just mentioned Deep Purple a minute ago. Do you think they would be?
Oh yeah, I love classic. I mean, back in I guess when I was a kid and I was getting into music actually, and then buying my first records and stuff, I loved Kiss. Um, I loved a lot of rock. I loved the heavy rock. I mean, I remember I like Ted Nugent. And, I mean, Alice Cooper. Oh my goodness, one of my favorites. And then and as and into the '70s, and then as I was developing my music a little bit, and I knew I wanted to play, and I started singing in bands and that. I mean, I was really the '80s music came on me, Bruce Springsteen, all that stuff. John Mellencamp was a big influence on me, etc. And I loved Americana. My music's Americana. Definitely write Americana music. But that's basically, I just followed the trends. And then, of course, at my age, I was lucky because I started playing full time when I was 18 and I've never stopped. So, and I covered a lot of music because I play in a cover band. And in fact, the Persuaders has been going since 1989. That one band, that's 36 years. Just the band I'm in that I run now. That I mean, I'm the leader of the band, but I'm the only original member. But it's never stopped. And so I played through the '90s, and I played through the grunge era. A lot of guys my age gave it up, raised families, and came back to it. So there's a big gap in their musical palette, or for that matter, then it's hard even to getting back on the train. I never jumped off. So I basically learned and studied and got to enjoy music from every era from the '60s right up.
Mm,
And I mean, I can sing boatloads of songs from every era, whereas some people, like, the interest in music died with the Eagles, you
mm.
know. And I don't know. I just love music. I'm more passionate about it now than ever been, especially where I write it now and I got my album out.
Yeah, I mean those are good bands. You even mentioned Mellencamp. Yeah, he was a pretty legendary artist as well. And you
Oh
mentioned
yeah,
like
Springsteen and yeah.
yeah, Springsteen. And well, tell everybody how we can find you. I mean, I'm sure you're on streaming platforms, but maybe you can
Oh
talk
my
about your
goodness,
social
yeah.
media and any official website you have as well.
Well, if you live in my neck of the woods, you know me just because I've been like a piece of furniture in the city as far as musically speaking. I've always worked full time. But if you want to find me online, it was really I never had a huge online presence until the pandemic, and that's when I really jumped. That's when I really really focused. I thought either I'm done or I got to pivot, and that was my big pivot. So I started writing, seriously writing. I mean, I've done albums before, but it was always sold off stage. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But to actually go with Spotify, and I released all my music on CD Baby, wrote the album, got another album on the go. I've released lots of singles and stuff. Some of them are going to pop up in my next music, and I got a pretty vibrant YouTube channel with a couple thousand subscribers, and I have a podcast of myself that I did during the pandemic, and a radio show that I did on a local station. And all the shows are on my YouTube channel, my videos. So Maurice Aucoin Music. If you just can, Maurice Aucoin Music that's all you need to know, and you'll find me. And I'm on YouTube, Spotify. I'm all over social media, Facebook. Um, you know, I'm I play live around this area of the country pretty much every week. I've never had a job. I've never worked a day in my life. I've played music my entire life, so it's not hard to find me.
Okay, well, check him out on YouTube, and also, like he said, search for Maurice Aucoin in Google, and I'm sure you'll find him just about everywhere. And I know he would
Absolutely.
love you to get some of his music. And we're getting ready to play. Speaking of music, we're getting ready to play a song that's called what is it called here? It's again. It's
Yeah, that's called "Doing It." It's the
doing
title
it.
track
Yeah.
off my new LP. I'll
Okay.
just
Tell
quick
us a little
rundown.
story about that. It's probably self-explanatory, but
Well, that's the song itself is a story of my life. I wrote it quite a few years ago. I wrote it, man, I'll be old now, 5, 6 years, 7 years ago. I wrote the song actually just about a frustrated musician who's been doing it so long now it's too late to quit.
Mhm.
And I was going through a spell when I was getting frustrated because the scene was what it was. And then I revisited it during the pandemic. I thought, well, I was so involved in my career and all that, and it just turned out as soon as the hoopla wore down from the live streams and all that, and pardon me, getting back into the playing kind of the routine. So I kind of slipped a little bit back into the old routine, but I'm very busy. I'm not worried there. But anyway, the point is that the song starts off as a young man wanting to be a rock star, and the second verse is about a person who's worried that this isn't going to get them to the end game, like the struggle of trying to be a working musician and making a living at it and not really getting famous. And then the third verse is about a guy that's been a musician his whole life, never made a whole lot of money, but it's too late to start doing anything else. So that's the song, and it turns out that I wrote it in the second verse, and now I'm living in the third verse, and I wrote it exactly how you swear I could tell the future. So I'm very proud of it. And Tim Feswick produced the album. He's from here. He lives in Hualtuco, Mexico now, and he did most of the production work in Mexico. We hired a Mexican mariachi band on the album. I've got Sean Kilbride, Jarrett. I got a bunch. I got Sean Kilbride he's in Toronto. He did some of the drums of the album. I got Warren Robert on guitar. I got Lee Fleming Smith on keyboards. I got Con Bedell whistling. There's a whole list. Ray Legier plays fiddle and mandolin on the album. I got like all these people that I never thought would even, how did you ask these people? Well, they were just thrilled to do my album. I was thrilled. It turned out really good, and I released it on vinyl. So I was really excited to release it on vinyl. I got back in love with collecting records again because I had the test pressings, and I bought a record player and played the test pressing. And man, records sound so good. And next thing you know, about $1,200 later, I go into record stores. I replaced most of my choice records. So, and I'm doing my next album that I'm working on now. It's probably going to be released on vinyl as well. So I'm really
okay. Well, I know everybody's going to love this video. I know I love it, and we're going to get to that in a second, though. But Maurice, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We'd love to have you back again sometime if you'd like to.
Oh, love to, especially when I get some new music out. My next video, perhaps. I have another couple videos coming out from this album, actually.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to that. So without further ado, here's Doing It by Maurice Aucoin, and it begins right now.
Doesn't care if it'll make ends meet. He's just playing his guitar for something to eat. All he needs he'll beg or borrow, 'cause right now he's living like there's no tomorrow. He sings about cars and the pretty girls and gets lost in his rock and roll world. He'll spend his whole life playing songs, and to this world he's coming to his own. Doesn't really care what's really going on, 'cause he's just doing what he's doing. He'll be doing it all life long. It's getting hard living out your dream and finding your way in the rock and roll scene. You're getting lost in this mean old place where you're living for the lights that show the lines on your face. If only you can live for the day when someone hears your story and you blow them away. Sometimes you feel like you're the only one who'll ever really get to hear you play your song. It's too late to think that you've been doing wrong, 'cause you've been doing what you're doing. You'll be doing it all life long. getting tougher it seems in a place where there used to be a rock and roll dream. The fire's still burning and the night's still long. The chords haven't changed, I must be singing